Hello, everyone, and thank you very much for joining our webinar. We're very excited about this opportunity to host this webinar together with Kantar and talk to you guys about online targeting using their panel-based segmentation. First of all, we'd like to introduce ourselves. So my name is Eyeota, and I'm the Business Development Director here at Eyeota, based in Germany. And together with me today is Ana Rodriguez, who is the Global Manager of Partner Solutions. And she'll be talking to you in just a second. Now, before we go any further, for those who may not have heard or have not actually spoken to us before, I would like to provide you with just a little bit of Eyeota's history in terms of who we are and how we work with our partners at Kantar. Eyeota is an audience technology platform that has been around for almost 10 years now, with our co-founders being based in Singapore, Australia, and Germany. We work with over 30,000 online and offline publishers, data providers, and research companies, which provides us with over 25,000 audience segments and over 4.5 billion audience profiles. There's obviously, a bunch of big numbers here that I'm hoping will make sense in the next couple of slides. Now, I'd like to briefly talk about offline data, which is particularly important for our key branded partners, such as Kantar, that collect their data through offline activities. Now, there are various types of offline data that we onboard, such as research data, which are advanced syndicated audience segments collected by experienced data analysts, purchase data that's collected through transactional data history, survey data, which is an information about users collected through things like surveys on panels, CRM data, which initially is advertisers' first-party data collected through things like websites and transactional activity, and then loyalty data, which is gathered through various reward systems. So the reason why I'm mentioning this is that it has been particularly exciting working with various offline data sets, as it has allowed digital marketers to gain access to audiences that were not previously available to buy and to utilize programmatically. This offline data that we obtain through our partners such as Kantar enrich our online profile dramatically, providing additional data points such as users' brand preferences, attitudes, media consumption, and so on, that is in fact very difficult to record in the online environment otherwise. Now, this next slide outlines in detail the steps of how we onboard data that is supplied to us by our partners at Kantar. First of all, we access data that comes from Kantar, so the seed data of the panels, and identify the relevant match keys between the offline and online digital sets. Then those digital keys, such as postcode, age, gender, are used to onboard this data, and it is modeled against Eyeota's online marketplace, overlaying Kantar's attributes to our online user profiles. Finally, those audiences are pushed into all major DSPs and DMPs for you guys to utilize for modeling, insights, and programmatic activation. We are currently, the way that we work with Kantar actually extends over 5 markets, which is Germany, France, UK, US, and soon Brazil. And we have over 700 Kantar profiles for you guys to choose from across a variety of verticals. Now, I would like to pass the mic, the virtual mic, on to Ana, who will talk to you through the magic, or rather the science behind Kantar TGI in more detail.
Thank you very much, Monica. Hi, everyone. So before we go into the description of our programmatic audiences, I'd like to tell you a bit more on the TGI data. TGI is a survey on consumer behavior, and the two things that make it unique is that it's a data set that has both the depth and the breadth of coverage, and that is a single source data set with a very robust sample size. By single source, we mean that all the respondents have answered to all of the questions in all of the categories. So when we defined a consumption or a consumer rather, we know all the detailed information of their life, the way they consume, and it makes it really reliable as a profile and data. TGI is a currency in most of the countries for the media industry and is trusted and used by media owners, agencies, and brand owners to inform advertising, planning, and buying strategies. In the case of Germany, we collect the data from an access panel. Every year we integrate more than 10,000 adults, and this sample is then weighted to the total population in Germany. A continuous fieldwork ensures that the data is refreshed twice a year, and each data delivery includes 12 months of data. TGI gives you a complete 360 degrees view of the consumer. Demographics, the hard data, age, gender, location, income, but also all the life stages, so young families, empty nesters, couple with no kids. In addition to demographics, we also cover, as you can see, the product and brand usage. I'm going to talk a little bit more on this on the next slide. Attitudes and motivations, leisure activities and interests, and media and digital consumption. So, for example, in the attitudes and motivations, we have over 400 statements to better understand the consumer thinking on political and ethical issues or their aspects, the way they think about technology, finance, food and diet, all the aspects of the consumer life. So this data really allows our clients to have a deep understanding of what makes the consumer tick. As I said before, we cover over 500 product areas that you can see in the screen with more than 4,000 different brands. But in addition to knowing what brands and products they buy, we also know where do they buy them, how often, and why they purchase them. So in summary, with TGI, we know who the consumer is, why they consume and behave the way they do, and most importantly, we know how to reach them as we ask them about their media consumption for all the main media that you can see, so television, print, online, mobile, radio, outdoor. In this slide, we have listed some of our buyers in programmatic through Eyeota. So as you can see, we'll have different agencies and trading desks that have been already using our programmatic segments. So indeed, programmatic audiences is the main subject of today, and we talk about how TGI allows you to define who your target consumers are and the most efficient and effective ways to reach them. Among those ways, programmatic is today an essential component. So being able to target the same planning audience in programmatic platforms is crucial. There is so much data available for online targeting that I just would like to talk about the benefits of using offline data to target consumers online and some of the use cases. The first point to make is TGI is being used by all the creative and media agencies to create the consumer profiles which are used to target across all other media channels, as we just mentioned, so it makes sense to use the same target online. Often, a proxy or a much broader demographic target is used online rather than the target identified by the insights and planning teams. Secondly, there are many examples where using online data sets for targeting won't enable you to reach the right people, or perhaps it would result in a campaign wastage. For example, if you want to target those who buy from a company with good environmental credentials, or those who take their reusable coffee cup to buy their coffee every morning. Or perhaps your client might be an online business, but they have a product which their target customers they don't currently buy online. For example, contact lens wearers might currently buy contact lenses in the optician, so online data won't allow you to target them. We recently ran a study called Dimension, which is our thought piece for the advertising industry. One of the findings was that consumers like being targeted by ads that are relevant to them, but they really don't like being repeatedly retargeted after visiting a website. So the use of data for targeting needs to be very carefully considered to maintain consumers' trust. So how do we do this? Well, Monica has already covered the methodology, so I won't spend much time on it, but I guess the important thing is to understand here is that the way we connect the data and the way we have matched our data with Eyeota means that today you have hundreds of segments ready to use from all the main DSPs. So if we look at some of those segments, here you have a list of the best performing segments in EMEA. And as you can see, it covers a range of different verticals, whether that is finance, business, automotive, lifestyle, and all of them bring the offline or the real life component in the definition of the target. So it really complements the data that you can find online. In the current context, 1 year after GDPR, I had to have one slide on this. But I guess here again, I would like to say that TGI has always been compliant. We didn't really have to change our processes due to the way we collect our data and we store it. And basically, we ask for consent right at the start of the process, so the data can be used to create targets for advertising. And this is very reassuring for our clients. And I'd like to show you a real-life example with a case study that we got from Betway, a gambling company in the UK, and that it was run by their agency, OMG Programmatic. Basically, for this campaign, the main objective was to drive new registrations to the Betway site. So really focusing on reaching brand new users was the main objective of the campaign, and the KPI was the number of registrations on the website. OMG met with Eyeota to talk through their campaign objectives, and their account manager at Eyeota put together a playbook which included segments from different data providers, chosen to help drive conversions and hit the right audience for Betway, in other words, achieving their KPIs. Here you have the details of the campaign. So the target selected from TGI was the people who said that they gamble on horse racing, whether that was offline or online. And it was activated via the Trade Desk DSP, and it was run in March this year, overarching the Cheltenham event. It was interesting to hear the feedback from OMD, who said that offline was not necessarily the main factor at the beginning, but since they wanted to recruit new users, using different data assets made TGI a very good option. So the campaign couldn't reach its maximum potential customers by using online data alone. So how did it go? Well, as you can see in the screen and in the graphs, they saw great results from using Kantar TGI segments with a huge reduction of the cost per acquisition, the CPA, and a huge increase in the number of registrations in the website. As you can see, the registrations got multiplied by 6, so that was their main KPI, and the CPA decreased by more than 88% compared to the beginning of the campaign. So both the agency and the clients were very pleased with the results. So to summarize what we have said today, I guess TGI really enables you to define any type of target and profiling that we can connect with Eyeota into the programmatic world and programmatic environment. And so you can from now use the available segments, but you can of course, and you can see the details in the screen, contact our local leaders, Deborah and Stefan from Kantar, and of course Monica from Eyeota, that will be able to help you with any question, and even to define a specific target just for your needs, which we can do as well from the TGI data set. So please don't hesitate to contact them. We really thank you for your time today and your attention, and we look forward to talking to you very soon. Thanks again, and goodbye.